The Montreal Canadiens had a very interesting last 2 weeks, and it started with the team ending up in COVID-19 protocol and acquiring veteran center Eric Staal, and it ended with the team winning 3 of their last 4 games. The acquisition of Eric Staal came at a time where the team needed life inserted onto that fourth line, and to be quite honest, it's been a long time coming. The fourth line hasn't been able to find any consistency since the beginning of the year, and the luxury of acquiring Staal is that he can play both the wing and center, which should provide Ducharme a few options here. What we don't know is where Staal is going to fit in the lineup right away, because we've seen Corey Perry go up and down the lineup throughout the season, but I would assume that Eric Staal starts on the fourth line and has the potential to move up throughout the rest of the year. Eric Staal is no longer a face-off wizard, but he still has the ability to get it done in the dot, and the Canadiens now can have the luxury to have him on the wing and take strong side draws if him and Jake Evans are both on the fourth line together. They can also do that same idea if you want to put him up there with Nick Suzuki, who has struggled in the face-off circle as well. The ironic thing about the Habs acquiring Eric Staal is that the fourth line has been much better since they acquired him, and he hasn't even played a game yet. Jake Evans and company were clearly feeling the heat, but whether it's Paul Byron or Artturi Lehkonen, it's clear that these players know they can no longer be complacent in the lineup and have to find a way to prove their value since the acquisition of Staal. Tyler Toffoli did come back on Saturday and had an immediate impact, scoring a goal, which means that bodies are going to be coming out of the lineup. Decision time is looming large for this Canadiens team, and the Habs should be an interesting team to watch ahead of the April 12th trade deadline. After the week pause that saw the Canadiens off the ice for the entirety of it, some of the bigger question marks, including captain Shea Weber, have come out of the pause feeling clearly rejuvenated and having played much better hockey as of late. It makes you wonder if Weber had been playing with an injury or just having that old fatigue and having that wear and tear over his body after playing so many NHL seasons. Ben Chiarot is supposedly ahead of schedule for his return, but it's still clear to me that if the team is serious about contending, they need to think outside the box and figure out a way to acquire a puck-moving defenseman to play with Weber. Joel Edmondson has been consistently steady for the most part this year, and I think he's better suited for that third pairing with Alexander Romanov, whereas the results speak for themselves on the success of Jeff Petrie being paired with Brett Kulak, and I think you can't split those two up once Ben Chiarot does return. There's a clear upgrade needed here, and Bergevin needs to kick his ego to the curb and figure out a way to find one. Time will tell if he does, but it's clear that the Canadiens definitely need an upgrade on that pairing with Weber. On the topic of looking better after the pause, look no further than Nick Suzuki. He's been humming along nicely since the pause and added a lot of creativity to the Habs up front, along with his line mate Jonathan Drouin. Josh Anderson has been rather snake-bitten as of late, but he did bust out of his slump on Saturday night, adding 2 important goals for the Canadiens. He's still proven insanely valuable to this club, even when he's not putting the puck in the back of the net. It's only a matter of time before this line starts to figure it out once again, but I did like seeing Jonathan Drouin with Kotkaniemi and Tyler Toffoli. I think that line has a lot of offensive potential and should be something that Dominic Ducharme continues to operate with moving forward. Lastly, the goaltending since Carey Price's reset has been no less than phenomenal, besides on Saturday night, but I think that goes to a lot of defensive breakdowns. I can give Price a pass for one night because he's been really good over the last stretch of games. The Canadiens are clearly more committed to supporting one another, specifically in their puck pursuit and defensively, and it's made it a lot more difficult to get scoring chances against this Canadiens team, especially in tight on Montreal, which in turn has boosted the numbers that we've seen. Started off the season very slow, but I think Carey Price is back, and what we're seeing now is the real Carey Price. The penalty kill was a big issue for what we were seeing with Price's exploited numbers, but now that we're seeing them take less penalties and be more disciplined, Price's numbers have taken a big rise, and I think you're going to continue to see that throughout the rest of the year. That's it for me today from Cook's Corner. As always, put your comments down in the comment section down below and let me know what you thought of the Habs over their last 2 weeks and everything that they've gone through. I'm Zach Cook. We'll see you later.